the whiskers. There's always a bit of hesitation before I put in the whiskers. It's that moment where the painting feels almost done and there's this little voice saying, "What if I mess up?" But that's another thing about art and the journey it takes you on. It requires trust. Trust in your hand, trust in the process, and trust in the skills you already have and the skills you're acquiring. These tiny, delicate lines add so much character and movement to the painting, but they also come with a bit of anxiety. One shaky line, one misstep, and it can throw off the whole balance of the painting. They're the smallest detail, but they make such a big impact. It simply isn't finished without it. When I put in the next whisker, you'll see me making a mistake. I came in too strong and the line didn't look great, so in my infinite wisdom, I decided to put my finger on the canvas and wipe it off, which was dumb because it didn't erase the line, it just smudged the paint. I'm going back to this spot in a bit and I'm going to show you how to fix that, so stick around for that. When it comes to painting whiskers, confidence is key. A hesitant stroke will look wobbly, so I make sure my brush is loaded with just the right amount of paint. Fluid, but not dripping. This might take some practice, and if you struggle with whiskers, like I have been too, you're not the only one here. Try using a sketchbook and make whisper-type strokes until you figure out what the best paint-to-water ratio is, as well as how much pressure to use on your brush. Grabbing a different brush to fix that silly mistake I made. I purposely put in a background color straight from the tube for these type of situations. All I need to do is dip my brush in that color and cover the smudged part of paint with it. Now I carefully work around the whiskers that are already on the canvas, and if need be, I'll come back in with the liner brush to redefine the whiskers that are already on there. So if you make the same mistake I did, this is one way to fix it. I don't just use diluted titanium white for these whiskers, as many artists tend to do. I looked at my reference photo and realized that the whiskers were more gray looking and actually a bit darker at the base of the muzzle. So I opted for a gray color instead of a diluted titanium white. Make sure you study your photo if you're using one, and try to match the color to what you see. Now, if you struggle with that, just try the diluted titanium white. Something is better than nothing. It will still resemble whiskers. Don't worry. It'll get easier over time. Here are some tips as you tackle this sometimes daunting part of your painting. Don't overdo it. Less is definitely more here. I know. I've said this so many times now, but it's true. You want them to feel natural, not too stiff or perfect. And you don't want too many either, as it'll overwhelm and crowd your painting. Always add less than you think you need, or just strictly follow your reference photo. You can't go wrong then as you paint from a real-life example. Here's another tip. Pay attention to the direction. Whiskers don't grow straight out. They have a natural curve or flow depending on the cat's face. So instead of randomly placing them, think about how they would actually grow from the skin. They should feel like they belong, not like they're just sitting on top of the painting, like an afterthought. Another thing to keep in mind is the thickness of the whiskers. Some of them will be slightly thicker and others thinner, depending on the cat. Mix up the pressure of your brush as you paint, sometimes using more pressure for thicker whiskers and lightening it up for finer ones. Don't make every whisker the same length. That's going to make them look artificial. Try to avoid making them all too uniform or exact. Real whiskers have that beautiful randomness, so embrace a little bit of chaos when you're painting. Let the strokes flow and don't get too caught up in making them perfect. You'll find that the more relaxed you are with them, the more life they'll add to your painting. Here's another mistake, but I'm going to show you a different way of fixing it. Now, instead of using my finger, which I still use, bad Mimi, so I grab a round brush, dampened with water, and wipe off the paint that I don't want to use. And again, back in with the finger. Don't do what I do, okay? So I'm going to grab a paper towel to wipe off the paint and water. And just like that, it is as if nothing ever happened. Now, this is by far the best way to get rid of whiskers that didn't go onto the canvas right, and I highly recommend using this method over the earlier one that I showed you. Why do I say that? Well, I am able to immediately try again as I don't have to wait for the paint to dry. Whiskers are tricky, and it's almost certain that you'll make mistakes, but that's all part of the process. Every artist struggles with fine details at some point, so don't be too hard on yourself. Each attempt is a step forward in mastering these tiny but essential details. This is always a bittersweet moment. There's that sense of accomplishment, knowing I've put in every detail I think I needed, but there's also that little part of me that thinks, I need just one more stroke. But that's the beauty of painting. It starts as an idea, goes through a messy middle, and then at some point, it just feels finished. Not perfect, just complete.